Welcome to today's video. We're going to be watching some videos I didn't watch the other day because my back hurt. If you enjoy watching, I stream every day on Twitch except Sundays. So if you're watching on YouTube, I encourage you to come over here sometime and hang out. You might watch one of these live. You might watch something else because I do a lot of other stuff too. If you're watching on Twitch, go to the YouTube channel right now and subscribe because if you somehow miss one of these videos or miss some of the other stuff, you'll see them on there. I promise. And if you are one of the people trying to interrupt me during the intro, I already turned TTS off. So, ha! Who wins now? Me. And if you're on YouTube, once again, if you're on the channel, consider subscribing because it's very appreciated and it's great feedback to know that I'm doing a decent job. All right. Intro. Let's watch one more. We're going to watch something from Stay Awake called Hospital Turns into War Zone After Man Opens Fire. Wacky. Let's see what the hell goes on here. I have some food, by the way, so sorry if that seems rude. I'll be muted so you don't hear it.
You got a tattoo on his arm? Is it?
On my blue rose and Susan.
Susan.
And some other tattoos.
This is Ron Barrett and Susan Allen, the parents of Keontae Barrett. Just an hour earlier, they were informed that their son was fighting for his life after a violent shooting at a local music venue. Keontae's parents had remained calm up until this point, but what the detectives were about to tell them would cause the entire hospital to spiral into chaos.
He was brought in. It was too much damage. He didn't make it? No, sir.
After pushing past the detectives, Keontae's parents ran down the hallway and announced their son's death to a waiting room full of more family members, resulting in total anarchy. Officers were forced to step in as multiple fights broke out, and amidst the pandemonium, one name in particular was being thrown out and blamed for this tragedy. Following this clue would lead to a complex investigation with multiple suspects. Dozens of witnesses.
I'm telling you, this man right here is a genius. Whatever he's doing, you this close to going to jail right now, so don't play with me.
And ultimately, a killer that nobody expected.
Anybody in our group, anybody you ask will tell you.
Bro, the budget's going crazy today. Stay awake.
Happen. We're all like family.
Two hours earlier, 911 calls poured in to the Smith County Sheriff's Office to report a shooting at a concert.
That's how you sell somebody on a video, bro.
We need somebody at Tidwell. Tidwell, please. Somebody just got shot. We were at a party at Tidwell and someone was shooting and someone got shot. They were one of my friends. Okay, I've got people on the way, okay?
Within minutes, a deputy arrived at the Crossroads music venue and parked down the street. As he exited his vehicle, he was immediately approached by horrified witnesses of the shooting.
Where's he at? Just got shot down. Where's he at? They're right at the warehouse, the shooter. There's a guy with a white shirt with a gun. John's here now. Okay, all right. 24 getting reports that the gunman has already left the scene. I'm going to go ahead and double check. Several subjects are leaving at a high rate of speed. You might want to pick it up, guys. Nobody knows. Nobody knows at this time where the suspect is. You guys okay?
Yes, somebody up there that's bleeding. He's bleeding out. He got shot. He's bleeding.
We got one victim according to witnesses. Is the shooter still up there? Shooter? Simple. We got two victims. One shot in the leg. The other one, I don't know where he's hit. He's unresponsive at this time.
EMS is on scene. They're coming.
Who did this? Does anybody know who did this? Nobody? No.
As you just heard, the officer quickly located two gunshot victims. One victim was Contrell Miller, known as Trell. Trell had been shot in the leg but was immediately cared for by a close friend who helped tie off the wound and save his life. The other was 20-year-old Keontae Barrett, a.k.a. Head. Keontae was shot twice in the back and was already unconscious. First responders performed CPR as they waited for EMS.
Up the hill, unit on the right, 2 gunshot wounds, and you'll see him right at the top of the hill. 10 for EMS on site. Up the top to the right.
Either running away or not
EMS
expecting it.
arrived on the
That's so
scene and
sad.
immediately jumped into action to save Keontae's life. Although Keontae's injuries were life-threatening, EMS was able to establish a pulse. They then loaded him into the ambulance and transported him to the UT Health Hospital for emergency surgery. A third victim was found and transported to the hospital as well. 18-year-old Ira Brown Jr., who was also shot in the leg. Soon after, the lead investigator for this case, Detective Teresa Smith, arrived on the scene and she was caught up to speed.
Yeah, those chest compressions were crazy good.
You're gonna walk
Bro
in,
was
there's
pushing.
a stage right in the middle. On the left-hand side is where the casings are.
Inside the building, drinks were thrown to the ground, chairs were flipped over, and multiple objects were covered in blood spatter from the victims being shot. Also, 2 9mm bullet casings were found on the stage. This evidence alone wasn't enough to piece together
On
the
the
events of
stage?
that night. So, while the Criminal Investigations Division gathered physical evidence, deputies
What?
relocated the witnesses away from the crime scene and focused on gathering as much information from them as possible.
This blood is my friend's. That's who I was carrying. That's who I was carrying. 2 was shot in the leg. 1 is headed to the hospital right now, and 1 shot in the side. I don't know.
You didn't see anything happen?
No, sir.
Shots started going off probably like 10, 15 seconds after the fight started.
And as soon as it happened, everyone got down and lined off the stage.
Speaking with the witnesses, the deputies learned that 15 to 20 people were on the stage when a fight suddenly broke out. Moments later, 5 to 6 shots were fired from an unknown shooter. At this point, the investigators had only found 2 bullet casings, so there must have been
That
more
explains
of
them being on
somewhere
stage.
in the venue. While the investigation at the crime scene continued, detectives Sean McClanahan and Ty Roderick Loftus were at the hospital getting the surviving victims' sides of the
Both
story.
crazy
starting
last
with
names.
Kentrell.
We're trying to figure out if there was a beef with somebody, if there was somebody pissed off at you or him. If you guys were up there rapping, was it a rap battle? Was we talking crap about somebody?
Like, we was just we go off the stage, it didn't belong. And dude was just going on. And then he started throwing his thing, and everybody else started fighting. I feel.
Do you know who that dude was?
All Kentrell knew was that he was on stage with his friends when some random guy in a green bandana started harassing them and punched him in the face. He didn't know the person who had punched him, and he didn't see anybody with a gun. Since Kentrell's story was extremely vague and didn't provide much useful information, the detectives moved on to the next victim for answers, Ira Jr.
Tell me what's going on.
Basically, we're at a function. Some people had gotten into an altercation, and they jumped on the stage and swung at one of my friends. And then next thing I know, pow, we don't know who shot him.
What was this? Was this like open mic or a certain group performing? Or I mean, what was
It was
this?
like it was just a group on the stage.
What was the name of the group?
It was TBS and Head Hunchos.
Ira describes the Head Hunchos as a group of friends that make music and frequently throw local parties. All 3 of the victims were part of the Head Hunchos, so it was likely that whoever shot them had some sort of beef with them.
The dude in the green bandana, the dude that kept jumping on stage, his homeboy was just trying to get him to calm down or whatever, because he kept just jumping on there, acting a fool. And then after that, I just saw some punches thrown and then clap.
Have you ever seen him before? The dude with the green bandana?
I've maybe seen him like once or twice like, around town.
Because once again,
Although Ira couldn't remember
person
the
who
guy
owns a
with the
gun
green
just takes a gun
bandana
out the
was,
second
the
it's
deputies
scary.
at the crime scene found somebody else who might know. Colin, another member of the Head Hunchos, had a good view of the stage when things started to go downhill.
Oh, did you see anything?
I was the DJ.
Okay.
I was on stage, I was DJing, and I started seeing a scuffle, so naturally I turned to music off. Then I turned off the music. The next thing I knew, I just heard the shots, and we all just got down. My friend Trell was hit, my friend Junior was hit. I went outside, my friend was hit on the thing.
Colin also confirmed that the person who started the fight was the person in the green bandana, someone named PJ.
PJ? PJ is one of the people involved in?
Yeah, that's what I only know his alias is PJ.
He said that there was a lot of tension with PJ since he had picked fights with the Head Hunchos in the past.
So nickname just PJ, or is that short for something? Those who's
It might be short. PJ.
Anybody know where PJ lives?
The apartment complex in Tyler, that's all I can tell you. He lives there with his mom.
Okay. So PJ lives with his mom.
Although nobody was accusing PJ of being the
Awkward.
shooter, he might know who the shooter was. Witness interviews were wrapped up, and back at the hospital, detectives received word that Keontae had succumbed to his injuries. As you saw at the beginning of this video, Keontae's parents were then brought into a private room where they learned the tragic news about their son.
He was brought in. It was too much damage. He didn't make it? No, sir.
That's so sad, man. I mean, that is so...
After pushing past the detectives, Keontae's parents ran down the hallway and announced their son's death to a waiting room full of more family members. As the entire family grieved, they were frantically announcing possible suspects. One of those possible suspects was another member of the head honchos, Trayvon Maddox. The detectives asked people why they believed Trayvon was the shooter, and several people said that Trayvon had apparently pulled out a gun when the fight broke out on stage.
And shot three people
PJ
from the
and
same...
Trayvon. Since they didn't know PJ's
shot
real
three
name
people
or
in his
address,
band?
they
Why would he do
decided to
that?
hunt down Trayvon first.
That doesn't seem right.
Trayvon was actually at the scene earlier that night, and the deputies wrote down his address in case they needed to reach him. So the detectives went straight to his apartment to speak with him.
Hey, Trey, how are you? Good morning. Hey, so of course, you know why we're here, right? About what happened last night? Yeah, cause I know you were one of the individuals there, right? Okay.
Do you ever know if any of them like made it? Cause I know one of them died, but the other two.
Did you ever go to the hospital?
I couldn't go to the hospital because they thought I did it. They thought like I shot him, like literally.
Right away, Trayvon began giving his own recollection of events leading up to the shooting. He said that a group of people from the west side of town, which included PJ, kept coming onto the stage looking for a fight.
West side people came on stage and they hit my homeboy Trail.
Okay.
So when they hit him, I heard 2 gunshots. He got hit in the leg. He said, "Oh, I'm shot." So I grabbed his gun. I shot in the air. There's a bullet hole in the, you can go look at Tidwell. There is a bullet hole in the air. The reason I shot my gun in the air, or Trail's gun, because he got shot. I was trying to get everybody out of there.
Following the gunfire, everybody ran out of the building, at which point Trayvon saw Keontae lying on the ground.
We didn't know he was shot. We thought he was drunk or something. I thought he was drunk, literally.
Yeah.
I was like, get up, get up, get up. And then he was like, bro, I'm shot, I'm shot. And like, we looked at his back and his head, and he was actually shot. And so I stayed there the whole crime scene. Like, the police got my name and everything. So that's why I was so...
Yeah, that's why we're here to talk to you and stuff like that.
That's why I was so confused when they say I shot him. Like, I would not stay in no crime scene if I shot somebody.
Where's the gun at?
You said, where is
Well,
the
don't
gun?
say that shit.
The gun
What the hell?
is in my car. Like, I didn't drive my car here because I was drunk.
Already, the detectives were suspicious of Trayvon's story. He said that 2 gunshots went off, and then he fired a warning shot into the air. But while telling the story, he points his gun at the air while describing the first 2 shots, as if he had actually shot first. The detectives also couldn't help but wonder why Trayvon didn't report the...
Also, how does 3 gunshots equal 4 people injured if one of the 3 shots was in the air as well? I mean, that would have to...
details while at the scene.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody has been mentioning your name and stuff, okay?
Also,
That's why we're
only
here.
2 bullet casings on the
just to let
stage.
you know, yeah, we
Yep.
do need you to come your name and stuff, okay? And that's why we're here. Just to let you
Ew.
know, yeah,
Bro.
we do need you to come with us, though, okay? We are going to be detaining you right now and taking you downtown, okay? Because here's the thing, and you're right, I want to get your side of the story. I want to know exactly what happened, and if that's what you're telling me,
That's exactly
tell me
what happened.
so I can find these people, because you know that...
Can I get dressed?
Yeah, well,
Just doing it right in front of his door.
Yeah, can he come in? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
What kind of car are you driving?
After grabbing some new clothes, Trayvon was escorted to the sheriff's office for a formal interview.
Yeah, that's what.
All right, Trey. Please do me the kindness of walking me through what happened tonight.
Trayvon told them the same thing that he said at his apartment, that a group of people from the west side of town shot up the party, and the only reason he fired his gun into the air was to disperse the crowd.
But I'm glad I didn't go to hospital because they thought it was me, because they seen me with a gun. The only reason they seen me with a gun is because I was on stage. The other people that were shooting were in the crowd. That's why they couldn't see them with the gun. So they seen me with the gun. When I shot in the air, they seen me with the gun. And they were like, oh, he has a gun. He shot the party up. Like, that's basically what happened, like, basically.
So this individual that punched
But it's not going to be
Cheryl,
him, right?
do you
Because
know
they
his
mentioned it being like a
name or
crazy
anything?
twist, whatever.
PJ. Okay. Is there anything that sticks out about PJ?
He's very short and he has dreads.
Very short. Okay, all right.
Very short.
He's very
Get
short.
his ass.
He has dreads. Is he part of a gang?
The 60s. Rolling 60s. The one that shot the party up was Rolling 60 because he was outside. I walk outside and this is all I heard. He was like, you one of them niggas that was on stage. Y'all wanted next? My baby mama at the house, she heard it too. Like, she was like, chill out because she knew him. She was like, chill out, G, chill out, G.
Not a single person except for Trayvon had mentioned someone named G having a gun. It seemed that Trayvon was merely trying to pin the blame on somebody else to take the focus off of himself.
So G, describe G for me.
I got a picture of him.
Trayvon took out his phone and helped to identify G as 22-year-old Giovanni McAllister, a.k.a. Gio.
So let me ask you this. Why didn't you tell us this story while we were on scene?
I was just drunk. I did not want to say anything that didn't happen or anything that over-exaggerate something, so I was just keeping it short and I would talk to y'all tomorrow.
Although they were skeptical of Trayvon's accusations towards Gio, it was important to rule out any potential suspects. So, Trayvon was charged with deadly conduct for discharging a weapon during the party, and he was kept in custody while several deputies staked out Gio's house. At around 10 a.m., Giovanni was seen leaving his house in a black Chevy Impala. The deputies followed him and decided to pull him over.
Hey, felony stop, guys, felony stop. 57 is pulling over just by the 12 Oaks Motel.
As soon as they put on their lights, Gio found the nearest side street and pulled over.
Here's the loop.
Okay. We don't know who's the murderer.
Driver, roll down your window. Go ahead, throw your keys out. Keep your hands out the window. Step out. Keep your hands up. Turn away from me. Back up slowly. Keep backing up. Hey, stop right there.
Gio complied with all of the deputies' orders. He was placed into the back of a police cruiser while they conducted a search of his vehicle.
Have any gun? Yeah. Think it's wrong? What kind of gun is it? That's loud.
Hey, he said there should be a Glock 22 in the truck.
He was clearly concerned as he watched the deputies search his vehicle, and was especially bothered when the tow truck driver arrived. He yelled from the back seat, trying to get the deputies' attention.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
The deputies confiscated his gun for the crime lab to analyze it, to determine if it had been discharged at the crime scene. Gio calmed down after learning he would get his belongings back after they were processed by forensics.
All right, we taking my car.
Liberty.
Going to Liberty.
If everything's good, you get it back later on.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
He was transported to the Smith County Sheriff's Office, where Detective Smith was already waiting to question him.
So, tell me what
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know who the murderer is.
I mean, I can tell there's a lot of tension going on from some guys that's on the dance floor, some guys that's on the stage. Next thing I know, man, some guys that's on the dance floor, they got on stage. And they probably start fighting probably like 10, 15 seconds. That's when you hear the first shot. Pow! And then after the first one, like two more went off. They were like back to back. They were like pow, pow.
Gio said that he...
Seems like to me that the guy from before shot first and somebody shot twice retaliating thinking somebody got shot at.
Didn't even have his gun on him when the gunshots first rang out. Apparently, he only grabbed his gun when he realized his friend's sister named Precious might be in danger.
I didn't have my gun in front. I got my gun from the car. I came back. I didn't see Precious. So I'm leaving. So once I'm leaving, two young dudes like, hey, bro, can you get in the car with you? I'm gonna ride. So I dropped them off, and that was it.
That's the thing, right now, of course, the reason why you're here is because people saw you with, you had a gun in your hand, so
people saw me with a gun. And that's why I told y'all, like, I'm finna go look for Precious, and if anything go on, I'm gonna defend myself.
Did you, at any point when you were in there, did you see anybody with a gun? Did you see any of that?
With the shooting, like with that part, like on stage and with the fighting, the shooting, I cannot tell you who threw the first punch. I can't tell you who shot who. I can just tell you exactly what I seen and exactly what I did last night.
The detectives were ultimately unable to poke any holes in Gio's story. However, they kept him detained while they searched his house for evidence.
Why
During
are
the
they
search,
showing this
they were
picture, bro?
unable to locate any evidence of his involvement. All they needed to clear Gio's name at this point were the results from the crime lab to see if he really didn't shoot his gun at the party. Likewise, the only way to clear Trayvon
have
as a
2 bullets.
suspect was to test his gun as well and determine if he truly did shoot it just once, like he claimed. However, during his interview,
Which they
he
would find
informed
out.
the detectives that finding his gun might be more difficult than expected.
Where the gun is right now, y'all are going to have to drag a lake to get that gun. Because, like, you see the messages where I cussed my homeboy out for throwing that gun in the lake. Because I told him that is my only evidence of proving that I did not shoot him. Like,
Did he throw it in the lake?
I hope,
You can tell if they shot more than once. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. I was eating. Guns have specific groove patterns in spirals within the barrel that basically the friction between the bullet and the gun causes it to spin. And that's where the velocity of the gun comes from, right? Like the force of the gun triggering and the spin from the bullet pushing through the chamber is essentially what causes a bullet to travel. That's a simple way to put it, right? The means to do so is through, like I said, an amount of friction, and the spinning of the bullet creates groove patterns because of how a barrel of a gun is made and how the bullet interacts with the barrel, right? So, when a bullet is fired from a gun, that bullet will have like physical evidence on it showing like if it got shot from that gun, basically. Or there's an empty shell. I mean, basically, an easy thing would be like he owns, like, I don't know if they've said what Trayvon owns, but the guy before him, or the guy that just got potentially cleared, he has a Glock 22, right? If a 45 got shot, obviously a Glock 22 can't shoot a 45 bullet. So that would make sense. Right? But if it's comparing two 22s, like, you can check gunshot residue on a gun to determine when it was shot or like how much was shot, etc. Like, forensics is fascinating. I mean, I don't know the full science behind it, but I do know that forensics can figure out like what a gun's history is if it's recent, essentially. If somebody knows better, please prove me wrong. But last time I checked, I'm pretty sure forensics is able to analyze groove patterns and trajectory within a bullet on a gun to basically determine whether or not it was shot, where and how. Like directionally and when. I think that's basically the gist of it. I might be a bit wrong in a few ways, but forensics, ultimately, the TLDR forensics teams are very cool. It's a job I wish I did if I had to do a criminology job, but forensics is way more science-based than it is criminology-based, and I am stupid, so I didn't get to do that. So
I hope not, but that's what he told me. He said, I hope he's like lying and just trying to keep the gun, and I hope he gives it back once y'all talk to him.
To clarify, Trayvon was saying that his friend Nathan apparently threw his gun into a lake even though Trayvon never told him to. The detectives found this story extremely suspicious and struggled to believe that Trayvon had no part in his gun being disposed of. Regardless, they didn't let this hiccup discourage them. Even if it was
really
submerged
weird.
in water, it may still be viable
They'll
for
still find
forensic
it.
testing
Yeah.
if they could find it soon enough.
Yeah,
Deputies
that's true.
immediately went to Nathan's house, and while a dive team searched the pond on his property, Nathan was brought back to the sheriff's office for an interview. He told the detectives that several members of the head honchos showed up to the
Nathan,
hospital
you dork.
after Keontae died, and one of them came up to Nathan with something important to tell him.
So she shows up and she's like, I've got this. Trey gave me this gun.
Trey gave A the keys to his car and gave A the gun. And she's like, we have to get rid of it, Trey said.
Thanks for
and
the raid.
She had said she wanted to
We're
go
watching a true crime video.
to Lake Tyler to drop it off and throw it in the lake. And this is where I was just like, that's dumb. Don't do it there. People are gonna see you throwing it. Just come out to my land and put it in my lake. She just kept freaking out, and said she wanted to get rid of it. And I was like, fine, just give it to me and I'll do it.
So she took the gun out of the trunk and handed it to you?
Yeah, she followed me down to the lake. And then I threw it in the lake and we just went back.
According to Nathan, he was just trying to help his friend, who he believed was innocent.
Anybody in our group, anybody you ask will tell you up and down that's not even possible. He never even pointed at anybody. I saw him pick it up and he went straight up, shot it, and then he put his arm back down.
Okay.
Although Nathan made the investigation much harder than it needed to be, he didn't receive any criminal charges and was free to go after handing over his phone as evidence. Thanks to the diving crew, the gun was found rather quickly and sent directly home as evidence. Thanks to the diving crew, the gun...
Cold ass photo, bro. That goes crazy. If I'm him, that's my profile pic, bro. That's sick.
Gun was found rather quickly and sent directly to the crime lab for forensic testing. Now that both Gio and Trayvon's guns were being tested, the detectives shifted their focus to the one
Both the
person of
22.
interest that they hadn't spoken to yet, the man in the green bandana, PJ. They were eventually able to identify PJ as 18-year-old Peladro Wilson. He was promptly picked up and transported to the sheriff's office for questioning.
If he wasn't charged, that means the gun wasn't used. Not necessarily. I mean, it's possible, but also like there are like good Samaritan laws, which I don't know if this is necessarily being a good Samaritan here, but like, I don't know. I mean, that is a good question because technically that is impeding an investigation, but like, he didn't do it because he thought his friend was guilty. He did it because he thought his friend, who he believes didn't do it, was going to get in trouble. So maybe it falls under some Samaritan law. But also he helped the police, and the police already knew where it was. So it's like he didn't really impede the investigation as much as clarify. I don't know. That's weird. You might be right.
Tell me from the minute you got there to the minute you left, what is going on?
PJ confirmed that he and the head honchos had an ongoing beef after he fought several of their members last year.
The same people, well, the Trey and the Trail dude who threw the party, I followed him on video and everything, and I beat him up and shit. Ever since then, he never liked me.
However, PJ didn't care that he was unwelcome and went to the party anyway.
I got into an argument with a girl. She out in my face. Me and my boys just walked off. I'm on probation, so I don't smoke. I don't smoke weed. I'm in my right mind. Nothing can throw me off at this point. I remember everything. It's crystal clear.
Following his scuffle with the girl he stepped on, he and his friends were hanging out at the back of the venue when Cantrell got on the mic and called him out.
And then the other dude that I fought, he said, "It's some pussy in here trying to fight a female. They need to get the f*** out." What? I hope we're not talking about me, because that was the only altercation. I wasn't trying to fight no damn girl. So I go up to the stage, I'm confronting him. Like, Trey, pull up his shirt. We see the gun on the phone.
PJ said that this interaction annoyed him, and he admitted to starting the altercation that led to the shooting. But despite nobody accusing PJ of being one of the shooters, he ended up giving a 29-minute monologue trying to convince the detectives that he had no reason to shoot anybody, and he had nothing to hide.
I don't have no motive to shoot any of them. Don't have no gun.
Besides an ongoing beef that I admitted to.
Whatever y'all want to know.
Man, all that that you just said sounded dumb as shit. That's what I said. You this girl going to jail right now. Don't play with me. If they were so lame, why were you there? It was their party.
About was posted this on Snapchat.
I don't care what they do.
Regardless.
It was a party. Hey, when I shut your mouth without talking.
This argument continued.
The white woman's getting
but
scared.
Eventually, the detectives explained to PJ that all they wanted to know was who he thought the shooter was.
I'm telling you, this man right here is a genius. Whatever he doing like raise my blood pressure, high, low.
Because I'm catching you in your life.
Besides Trey,
all right, besides
who had a gun? Who
Damn.
was shot?
him.
That's it. You just the only person you saw.
She's getting involved.
And that was on my life. That's on my little girl. I heard he got shot, and Nobody didn't shoot him, but his guy.
I am also upset.
That's the guy truth. Not gonna say if he did shoot, but that's the only gun that I seen at the party with my own eyes, and that's the guy on the truth.
PJ's interview was wrapped up, and he handed over his cell phone for analysis.
They gonna go through all my messages? What you worried about?
What you were?
I got some in there.
Oh my Lord have mercy! We don't care about that. Seriously?
You're not looking for.
Over the next month, multiple more witnesses were interviewed and several phones were thoroughly searched, but there were no breakthroughs in the case. Then, on May 18th, the forensic analysis finally came back from the
girl
crime
hit the
lab.
Lord have
The
mercy.
detectives brought Trayvon into the interrogation room one last time to share their findings.
Uh-oh.
We do have to tell you something.
Uh-oh.
What is that?
And it's not good news.
What is that?
Barrett
Mm-hmm.
and Keontae.
Can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was murdered by that gun.
How was he murdered by that gun? How was he shot by that gun if I did not shoot him with that gun? How was he murdered by that gun?
The bullet that killed Barrett came from the gun that was in your hand.
How?
Forensic science. Okay. They did all the testing. The gun was shot more than once.
So cool.
You may have not realized it.
I did not shoot him, boy. That was my friend.
I know.
Why would I shoot him?
Honestly, I believe it was an accident. Do you believe it was an accident?
I did not shoot him.
The detectives informed Trayvon that he was
Just
being
giving him an
charged with
opportunity
murder,
to say
but
it's an
Trayvon
accident.
refused to believe that he could have done that to one of his best friends. He insisted that he only shot in the air and suggested that it may have ricocheted off of the roof and hit Keontae. But regardless of how it played out, the detectives believed that he was responsible for Keontae's death, since
Still
he had
shouldn't shoot your gun in the
intentionally
air.
pulled the trigger. However, the murder charge ultimately didn't hold up, and he later pled guilty to manslaughter. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. As for Gio, the forensics for his gun came back clean, so he was cleared as a suspect. It seemed like this was an open and shut case, but there's one crucial aspect of the case that we mentioned earlier, but never revisited.
What?
Moments later, 5 to 6 shots were fired from an unknown shooter. At this point, the investigators had only found 2 bullet casings, so
I forgot there
must
was
have been
6.
more of them somewhere in the venue. It turns out that the crime scene investigators had discovered 3 more bullet casings, but
9mm Luger casings in in 2 380s.
they weren't the same kind as the one Trayvon had shot.
Right.
Therefore, even though one of Trayvon's bullets was responsible for killing Keontae, this confirmed
That's
that there
crazy,
was more
dude.
than one shooter. To this day, no other shooters have been identified.
What?
And nobody but Trayvon has been charged in this case.
What?
Trayvon Maddox currently resides at the Smith Unit in La Mesa, Texas, and is set to be released in the year 2029.
Wow. Well, I mean, I guess they found the bullet that killed him, so. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Weird, dude. Scary. What a case. Twists and turns, dude. Great video.